Alright guys, Green 6400. This is the dragon fruit after I got it potted up or whatever. Got it in an orchid pot. Orchid pots, if you don't know what they are or whatever, get this thing around here. They've got these slits in them. They've got about 3 or 4 slits in them. I usually put coffee filters in the bottom of all my pots and stuff like that. Not only does it help to keep some moisture in, but it doesn't let, just water just pour out of them and stuff, if any of you guys are having problems with that and stuff. So just remember, if you're having problems with dirt coming out of them, water coming out of them, whatever, then, just fill it up with coffee filters. I usually put 2 of them in there, and they work fine. Nothing ever happens to it or anything, But, anyways, this is the dragon fruit. Got it potted up. Got it sitting here by the back door or whatever. The soil was a little damp. Like I've told you guys before, we've got a landscaping business where, so I've got, piles of dirt and stuff like that out back. It was already moist. It rained, yesterday. And it rained yesterday morning or whatever. Not no soaking rain or anything, so my piles were a little bit moist. So I just kind of left the moisture in there. It's pretty much kind of lost that moisture now from being in the house. But from what everybody says, you want them to kind of dry out mostly, like most cactuses do anyway, so you can get them to root or whatever. So I'm going to try to baby this thing, and maybe about a year or so from now, this thing will end up giving me some fruit, which I've never tasted one. Everybody says it's great or whatever. Everybody say hey to Tober. That's my cat. But anyways, everybody says they taste great and everything, and I would love to taste one. And I just think they're amazing plants anyways, because they look awesome once they get fully grown and stuff. So I'm going to try to grow it up. Everybody on YouTube says, and the blogs and everything that I've read, they say that, you're looking at about 10 pounds of weight plant material before this plant starts to actually produce fruit. Whether it is or whether it's not, I don't know, but I will definitely keep everyone posted because, I don't know if everybody else is about like me, but pretty much I think of YouTube as about being like a Bible. YouTube is a good source to have any kind of information. Go back, read it, look at everybody else's stuff, compare notes, write down, what you think, and go from there, on everything or whatever. So it's a good source. Also, I showed you guys inside of my greenhouse or whatever, a big cactus that I had or whatever. This right here is a pretty good size pot or whatever. I'd maybe say it might be 15 gallons, maybe 12, something like that or whatever. Ended up having to pot this thing in this. But this cactus is probably 30 years old or older. As you can see when you look really close and stuff, this right here it's got a lot of woody parts to it and everything here, and it starts out green, and then as it gets older or whatever, some of the parts they start to get to turn into wood or whatever, and I've actually had to kindly break some pieces off and stuff, so it's not actually growing off of its main branch no more, except for I think this one right here. If you can see, that sucker is huge. It's probably 3-4 times the size of my thumb across right there, and I believe that's the main one, because this one has a lot of wood on it. It comes all the way up to here with the wood on this thing or whatever. But this thing, if I can pan out, that thing is huge. This is it sitting in front of my sliding glass window, and as you can tell, it's only probably 8-10 inches from the top of the window, whatever. But sometimes when you bring this thing in, if it's really, really humid or whatever, it will lose all its leaves and it'll go just to like spines or whatever, kind of like this area right here is. All the leaves have fallen off this area or whatever, but for most part this year it stayed pretty good. I've kept it watered pretty good or whatever, but this thing got so freaking tall that I had to take, let's see if I can get it, there it is. I had to take some of these tops off. This thing good Lord, you know, it was all the way up another 2 feet. So I had to start taking some pieces off. And as you can see down here at the bottom, this thing has gotten so freaking big that me and my son had to go and take the top of a tomato cage and cut it off and put it around this thing to kind of hold it in. Because as you can see, I mean, that thing, you know, it gets to swaying and stuff. But, I mean, it's an awesome cactus. If any of you guys have any clue what this thing is, name-wise or whatever, how about hollering back at me and let me know. There's a good picture of the way this thing looks. And it usually has like one run, and then what'll happen is you'll get a run about like this right here, and then you'll get one or two little shoots that shoot off of it, and then it just keeps shooting for the freaking sky. But I mean, it's really nice. I can't wait for the whole bottom of it to get really woody and stuff like this piece is. There's you a good look of it or whatever. So like I say, this thing's got to be at least about 30 years old. I got it after my grandmother passed away, and my uncle and them put it in the basement. It wasn't getting any light, and this sucker was almost dead. And basically all I did was bring it back home and soaked it down, and the thing's been awesome. I mean, it came back with a vengeance or whatever. And then what I did was, I think I cut it like 2 or 3 times and put different sections down in the pot and stuff, you know. And now look at it. I mean, it's massive. I mean, every person that sees it, they're just amazed by it. And honestly, the only thing I can say is it's a cactus. I don't know what this thing is. So if anybody has a clue, hit me up. Let me know. But I mean, it's just getting out of control now. I'm starting to break off pieces and give them to people and everything else. I mean, you can see another piece right here. This thing roots like crazy. I mean, it doesn't take long at all. Usually what I do is I bring it in the wintertime as soon as it gets, you know, but I leave it out. It usually gets 1 or 2 frosts before it ever comes in. And then I bring it out as soon as the frost is gone in the spring. And this baby stays out in front of my house all the time. So that's that cactus, and that's the dragon fruit. Stay posted, guys. Peace.